Hello, I'm Ben, and I'm a traitor. No, wait, no. I'm Ben, and I can 100% say that I am a faithful.
My God, if Series 2 is not coming for you, is it? And I'm Alex, and I'm a faithful?
Well, I said traitor by accident that I was a traitor, but the reason I said that was because I'm actually starting to suspect that you are a traitor.
No, don't start pointing your finger. Don't do a Maddie on me. Don't do the smallest thing that happens. And she's like, right, I spotted that. Does anyone else think that's mad? Does anyone else think that's suspicious?
Well, when I just said that I was a traitor by mistake, an honest mistake, you blinked twice.
Oh, yes. And I scratched my head using my left hand.
It's the only evidence I have to go on. So,
but this is if we're going to start with like just wild accusations. Don't you think Maddie is just going nuts now? Like the smallest thing that she can find, she's just going for anyone.
Well, for one, it was not a wild accusation by me. Thank you very much.
Yeah, but right.
Two, yes, Maddie is playing a dangerous game.
She really is, because people are starting to get tired of her accusations now as well, round the round table.
It's a laughing stock.
It is. Like, people are laughing at her, and poor Maddie. But the frustrating thing is, as we say in every episode, is Maddie's right. The way she's getting there isn't right.
I mean, the last episode, I'd say she was 50% right. This episode, 25% right. She's like, she's now called out Alyssa and Wilf, but also called out Meryl. Which is like,
what was
really?
it she said? Meryl said something, didn't she?
She said, I knew it, that Tom was a faithful, but she voted for Tom.
Oh, yeah. No. She said it was either Tom or Alex.
Yeah, but when Tom went and he said I was a faithful, Meryl said, oh, I knew it.
Yeah.
And she was like, well, that's suspicious because you voted for him.
Well, Maddie went, does anyone else think that's dodgy? And she's desperately trying to get someone around her to agree, but everyone just kind of groaned and went, oh, for goodness sake. So, yeah, I don't think Maddie's long now for that round table.
We are rushing ahead of the episode, though, because lots happened in this episode. We're not even introduced what we are. We are a podcast about the Traitors, if you didn't know. And we are talking about episode 5 now. So, yes, lots went on. We've got rid of 3 people, murders and banishments, and 2 people came back.
Yes, the 2. You thought that it was a bit dodgy, that the way they left. But
I said this episode 1 of the podcast.
You did?
I said Claudia did a very specific sentence when she got rid of those 2, and I said they're going to come back. And
they did.
Happened.
So who?
I didn't even bother learning their names because I thought they were gone, and now I have to learn 2 more names.
All right, Amos and
Kieran, is it? Or something?
Kieran.
Yes.
Kieran
and Amos. Okay.
Kieran and Amos are back. And didn't they look like rabbits in headlights? Didn't they?
Yeah,
I think were like, we've been gone for like 5 days and this is what's happened.
It quite clearly showed how insane people have become in 4 or 5 days. Like they were all happy and fun on the train. They get banished, come back episode 5, and it's just like,
but they weren't banished, that's the point.
No,
they were
all hell
leave.
is sort of broken loose, and they're just like,
and Kieran's kind of embraced it, kind of rubbing his hands together and was like, right, I can get into this, I can delve right in, I can really start ramping things up. But Amos, I think, he was having a real long think about it while he was having his little sexy shower this evening. He was having his sexy shower with Matt, having a sexy bath.
That was a very odd montage at the end. Not seen
it
that
suddenly
before.
turned into a soft-core movie, didn't it?
He was having a very dark and broody shower, and then Matt was there taking his dressing gown off,
dropping his dressing gown around his feet,
bubbles in his bath,
showing off his tattoos on his calves. Very impressive. But so
they're turning it sexy.
It needs to be sexy because there's so much tension,
too much murder,
too much hate and deceit that they needed to soften the edges a little bit. And tonight they decided let's add sex. So it was welcome.
So, I mean, at the beginning, obviously, it's amazing how quickly your grief goes on this show. Because at the beginning of the episode, not Irvin, I keep calling him Irvin.
I know you keep calling him Irvin, and he listens to the show, so I apologise.
Ivan,
hi.
Well, he's dead now. No, he's not. He's banished now.
He's been banished.
But he was like banished, and like last episode, I was like, oh, I really like Ivan. He's really nice. I'll be really upset if he's gone. And within 10 minutes of the show, you're like, yeah, I'm over that. That grief's gone. He's gone. What's now happening? Now I have to focus on everyone else.
Who's going to get murdered next?
So your cycle of grief for the cast is very a quick turnaround.
Ivan's exit has been my favourite exit of the show so far. The way he did a one. He did a spin and then stormed away in a flourish.
What he said as well. He enjoyed proving Tom wrong. I think
he really relished
which
that.
Is quite. I would have enjoyed that because Tom was being way too sure of himself and made a fool of himself. Quickly.
He really did. And it was the moment. The moment Ivan said on the last episode where he said, you've put your reputation on the line here, and if you're wrong, I know you're wrong. And
I've cancelled my booking. I've cancelled him. He's not coming to my party.
Is he not?
He's a magician. No.
The world's best magician? Mm-mm. Oh dear.
No.
Who are you going to have instead?
Andrea.
I'd have a Magic Mike night with Amos and Matt.
Oh yeah. They could do
a few spins.
Do a montage. That'd be nice. So yeah, he was banished.
Just do montages in front
and
of
gone.
Aye.
And like the breakfast the next day after a nice sleep, I feel everyone kind of reset a little bit from the chaos that was yesterday.
They're probably exhausted, but you can see the tired little faces.
But it was much more civilized at breakfast. Like everyone came in, they smiled, hugged, they talked to each other on a much more normal level than they did the night before. So I think they got this sort of crazy out of their system, and then it's all a bit more civilized for now.
You say that, but then later on with the round table, it all fell apart again with them again, didn't it?
Always does.
It does. And after the banishment, like again, when Alex left the round table. You could just see that they didn't keep the volume on for what people were saying, but you could just see everyone just arguing with one another again. And there was just more arguments. And Alex quite rightly said, like, I just had enough of it. I just wanted to get out of there. So Alex was a bit like what Hannah was last episode, when Hannah was like, yeah, no, what, I don't care. just banish me. I don't give a monkeys.
She survived, though, because we did think maybe she would be going at the beginning of this episode.
I mean, she's sticking at it, isn't she, with the skin of her teeth? Did you notice that both Tom and Alex were both wearing their Sunday best this episode as well? Like, they knew the camera was going to be on them the whole episode. They knew that the producers were going to keep them.
Yeah, because Alex had a smart grey suit on, didn't she?
She had her pearls. She was clutching at those pearls throughout.
So was I.
And Alex was wearing his nice peach jacket and his peach trousers. He's coiffed his hair a little bit nicer this episode too. They knew that they were going to be heavily put into the episode 5. So I feel like that everyone else was still in their kind of joggers, loose tops. So you should dress nicely if you're on television. So good for them. That's not a judgment. I'm just something I spotted. That's all.
And we also then had the team mission after the breakfast, didn't we? Which was another chance to earn some money.
We've forgotten someone who's been killed. Someone we don't like. Someone we didn't like it. This is to your point just now when you were saying it's like, someone gets murdered or banished and you're just
the main villain is now gone and we just forgot about him.
I was pleased to see him go. Did you see his lip curl? His lip curled when he got that letter.
Yeah, and he sat there in silence, just looked at the camera like, I'm not bothered.
But he couldn't stop the reaction on his face, and you just knew that he was bitter man.
No, yeah, I'm glad. It made sense that they got rid of him because he was
100%.
He was causing issues.
And again, did you not notice that you said yourself the group was a much kinder group with him not being there?
Oh yeah, so then at breakfast the next morning, yeah,
that's
of course.
It. There you go. So John was the one causing.
I liked how Aaron gave a fake. Oh, John's gone. It's like, really, Aaron?
Aaron really loved that.
No wonder people think he's a traitor. But we then went to a weird mission in a church with some creepy faced people all
masked
sat in.
People.
Yes.
Everyone's got a face band. But
their masks were very creepy.
People were wearing a mask.
Very creepy. And they had to they were fighting for a shield. And also money, but mainly this shield.
But they were in two teams, and they were still playing for a cumulative pot of money that one or a group of people could win at the end of the show. But this time they were fighting against each other as well, because the team that had the most points solving riddles, and the riddles corresponded to items that people in the church were holding. They had the opportunity to get the shield, and the shield would be immunity from murder, not banishment, but murder. I did love that line. It's like you're protected from death, but not democracy. I thought that was a wonderful line.
Aren't we all?
If Claudia Winkleman just got that off the top of her head, then she deserves a pay rise. Give her more money, BBC. That was such a wonderful line.
And it's so funny with this this show that like it's not if your team wins you get immunity. It's like if you win you may get the chance to have immunity, but not from this, but from that, which comes after the first thing. So it's like, so they go through all this, and then none of them even got a shield apart from Tom.
Tom got the shield. They made the agreement because they again, this was another twist within the twist within a twist that if there was only, well, they didn't say how many shields there were, so there could have been 1, there could have been 3, there could have been 5, whatever. But if you had the shield, it's up to you whether you told the team or not. And they said, no, we're going to keep it to yourself.
That protects them all.
Because that protects them all, technically. And so that was a clever move, to be fair. Again, Tom, say what you will about Tom. He came up with some really good, ways of winning the game. And
well, 1 in every 1,000, you're going to get one.
Top class magician, I'll tell you.
But, so, yeah, I mean, would you please look at the big traitor book I've presented in front of you and tell me a paragraph and a line, please?
Right.
Just say it out of nowhere. Just go on.
Have you
pick one?
I feel like I should have
something.
No,
just say it. Just say paragraph blah and line blah.
Oh,
please.
I see. You want me to give you a paragraph and a line?
Yeah, come on.
I thought you wanted me to read. Okay, paragraph 13.
Mm-hmm. Oh yes.
Line
13.
Yeah, no, line 9.
Okay, right. Well, that's a riddle.
Okay.
You surprised?
No.
So please answer this, and you have the possibility of maybe appearing in the next episode of the podcast.
I'm really awful at riddles. Forgive me, everyone.
What is broken every time that it is spoken?
Silence.
That's correct. You've won the chance to appear on the next episode of the podcast.
Can I just have a shield so you can't kill me?
No.
Because now you've admitted to being a traitor. I'm beginning to worry for my life.
But so yeah, that was like a fun little mission. They earned 12,000, 13,000, something like that, didn't they?
No, they earned 8.
Added on.
They added 8, so their total is now £47,700. It's really starting to add up. There's us, you and I, thinking, it's the BBC. They don't give away prize money willy-nilly. They'll probably end up giving them £1.50 and a Burger King voucher, But no, they're really totally in it.
Series 2, what I've heard, is they're going to have the cast of Drag Race UK on there to earn some money.
Not giving
around the whole table, it will just be all drag queens.
The funny thing is I genuinely believe that if in Series 2 they said to them, right, this year it's not prize money, it's just a badge with the traitor logo on it, I still think they would still be demolished into like this debauchery that is what's become of them right now. This is what I said last episode. I don't think it's about the money. I think it's about being proven right, and I think we're getting to this. It stopped being about the money to some degree. But
yeah, wait till it tots up a bit more. Once it gets 100 grand, it will be.
That's a big prize.
It will be on. So we had the mission. Then we had the riddles. We had the shield. Tom put on a bit of armor in that room, which got him the shield.
This is where Amos and I forget.
Oh yeah, they got revealed. Amos and Kieran.
Kieran got revealed as being coming back into the game. I mean, the group seemed quite happy to see them back. I was surprised in a way, because I would have thought they would have been a bit like, oh God, now we've got to work out 2 more. Because they could have gone back into the game as either traitors or the faithful. I'm surprised that the producers didn't make one of them a traitor.
Well, do you not think the producers did this? They had these 2 in the background. If at this point they'd had gotten rid of 2 traitors, they would have made one traitor. It's like their little backup, I guess.
Yeah, but then that would have been too obvious if they were both traitors.
Well, one of them.
I think 1 coming in would have made sense at this point. I think, because how many are left at the moment now? Is there 16 left? So there's 1. If there was another traitor added, there would have been a 1 in 4 chance now that they would actually find one. They've still not found a traitor. No. I'm pretty shocked now. I feel like they would have had more chance of like finding one by now. They're just.
No, they're not doing. There's no evidence. No, there's not anything.
But the only evidence they thought they had, was with Tom, and look what happened there.
Do you want to know what has happened this whole show so far with trying to find traitors?
Are you going to sum it up?
I think you actually made a monumental fuck up.
Summed up in one sentence.
Summed up. End of the show.
But I think you actually made a monumental fuck up.
Yeah. Thank you, Andrea. That is correct.
That's your first on your soundboard, isn't it?
It is.
You're going to start adding things. If there's, we should say if there's any lines that anyone else liked on the show and they think should be added to the soundboard, send us some at Traitors Podcast on Twitter, and we'll think about it.
Yeah, I can get them on here. I have a soundboard.
Go on then.
Oh, okay.
But I think you actually made a monumental fuck up.
Very good, Andrea. Very good.
She's the best, isn't she, old Andrea?
She doesn't say much. She doesn't appear much. But when she does it best.
You saying about people who don't say much or don't appear much, someone came out the woodwork tonight. Did you not find that our old mate, Ryan, he came out tonight fighting.
Oh, yeah.
He got accused of being a traitor, and all of a sudden, this sudden energy came out of him. He was really going revved up.
Because it was just so ridiculous, just out of nowhere. I can't remember who said it. Was it Maddie again? Did she then say to him? It was Maddie or Alex, I think.
No, was it Maddie? Or, yeah, I can't. I wish I could remember now. Oh, bother. But yeah, I loved this new Ryan. Look at him. He was like, what? How dare you? How dare you?
Yeah, because the round table was just going into more. It was a bit calmer to begin with, and more like they were all taking their turns and saying their thing. But it soon just went with everyone's a traitor, basically. Like, how many people has Maddie now accused? Do they know there's only 3? They don't, do they? That could be any
number. They don't know how many there are.
But she has accused about 6 people.
Well, Maddie has accused Meryl.
Yeah. Aaron. Wilf. Alyssa.
She accused... Yeah, Alyssa, Aaron, Wilf.
So it's 4 so far.
Alex and Tom. She had her suspicions about Alex and Tom.
And Hannah.
Yes. yes, and Hannah.
So really, we say that Maddie's playing a good game, but really all she's doing is just blaming everyone but herself.
It's shooting fish in a barrel for Maddie, isn't it? She's just choosing anyone and anyone. It's a new name. Soon she'll say, Claudia, you're a traitor.
She'll say, actually, maybe I am.
Can you imagine? I think Maddie would be the first one to vote for herself, just as a kind of modesty or something.
But it's looking a bit worrying for Alyssa, I feel, this one, because we've been thinking that maybe Wilf's going to be the first traitor picked. But quite a few people are saying Alyssa, because didn't John say Alyssa and then he got killed in the night?
Yeah. And Faye, she's suspected Alyssa, hasn't she, as well?
I think she has, yeah. She said there was a bit suspicious. But Amanda was really good. She's really good at, like, turning things away from the suspicion of the traitors, because she at the round table, she kind of accused Alyssa of being a bit iffy, but then said... But the speech you just did then was really emotional, so I think let's all just move on, everyone. And everyone's like,
she did. She turned a few opinions around.
So she's very good at doing the deflecting. Yeah, Amanda is, and she's the only traitor that hasn't been accused by anyone yet, even in conversation or anything. So she's playing the best game. I think she's
quite motherly, isn't she? And everyone, and she speaks when she. It's funny because she speaks when she needs to speak up. She doesn't speak out of turn. She doesn't speak for the sake of speaking.
And everything she says feels like really truthful. Like even I'm believing her even when I know that she's a traitor. So yeah, she's. I think she's playing one of the best games, and everyone seems to really like Andrea as well, even though she doesn't seem to be doing much.
Yeah, I wonder if Andrea's one in the eyes of the traitors. They've said that they'll never banish Andrea, so they'd have to kill her. Wilf said that, didn't he? He said, like, we're just gonna have to kill her.
Yeah. It's just one of those things.
He's having a great time on Wilfred.
I love the terminology on the show. It's so funny because it's so brutal for no reason.
Do you think Andrea is another one who could be a good traitor if she was put into the cult that is the traitor?
I think she would be. Yeah. But
because Tom, I was saying yesterday that Tom would be good, but unfortunately,
God, no.
Tom,
I don't think he would have been. He's too of a loose cannon. He'd stand up in the middle of the table and start saying all sorts if he was a traitor. Yeah,
but I think people trusted him because people were quite disappointed in themselves that they ended up kind of following the census and going for Tom.
I do think Tom did deserve to go though, even though he was a faithful. Like he did such a bad gameplay the past 24 hours that actually it's kind of a relief that he's gone, I feel. And I think Alex
panicked.
is going to be able to play a better game without him worrying about what he's going to announce.
Oh, I
or
agree.
Say or...
I think Tom, I said this again yesterday, Tom did all that because he thought he was protecting Alex, but Alex didn't need protecting. Alex could have easily defended herself, and I think it was weird that Tom. It was a Will Smith at the Oscars scenario, and I think it was really weird that he did that. Like he felt like he needed to protect his girlfriend.
It did make me laugh that Matt all of a sudden as well was like, I suspect Alex now. Now that she's got a boyfriend.
Yeah, but then he stopped suspecting her, didn't he? And he voted for Tom, didn't he? I think. Because now he's started flirting with Alex.
Well, walking off together.
Walking off together, having a little word in her ear. He's having baths. No. He's cleaning himself.
He's having a bath on his own, just him and the cameraman.
In his mind, he's not having one on his own.
No.
The cameraman.
He needs a rubber ducky. Bless him. But,
do you reckon they those shots, those shots that they do when they're talking about who they're going, when the traitors are talking about who they're going to murder, they're always showing them shots of them like combing their hair or like tying their hair back or putting on a bit of blusher before bed or having a bath, having a shower. Do you think the producers are like, right, what are you going to do tonight? I feel so sorry for them because like they've spent the whole day playing this really psychologically heavy game. They then had to play a challenge. They've had the breakfast is fast becoming like the place where people are just. It's like a second round table. So they have 2 round tables. Then they finish at midnight, presumably midnight. Then they have to do, again, like an hour's worth of filming of them doing something before bed.
In slow motion.
But they don't do the slow motion. That's done in post.
Is it?
Yes.
I never knew.
So they don't go to bed till like late. They all say that they don't go to sleep. Like they're all begging for the shield because they were like, oh, I just want to have a good night's sleep.
No, I know. I mean, I can imagine, like, I would just... The amount of pounding headaches.
Glad you said headaches.
The amount of pounding after Matt's bath. No, the amount of pounding headaches that must be going around that breakfast table. I can just imagine everyone has a headache and it's just like, that headache which, like, vibrates on the side of your temples.
Yeah.
I imagine it's a bit like that.
Apparently
it's 16-hour day filming days.
That's what I'm saying. 16-hour filming day.
Ugh. No wonder they all want to be banished.
And a lot
by
of
the
them
round of
saying,
it, they're like, just let me go.
A lot of them are saying that they're sick of the game now, aren't they? Again, I feel bad for them. Like, they're going to producers and saying, "Can I just go home?" And the producer's like, "Nope, you've signed a contract.
No, one more twist.
You've got to stay." Oh, just such a horrible, hard time. I mean, thank goodness. I mean, it's 12 episodes, so presumably it's been filmed over 12 days because each day is an episode. 12 days. I mean, that's less than a couple of weeks.
Yeah,
so
it's not too bad.
It's not too bad. It's fine. But
So when it came to the murders, then we don't know who got murdered, but they put sort of 3 in the ring, didn't they?
They did. So Tom's gone. He got banished.
Yeah.
And then the traitors all went off on their little. I don't know. What
a little stroll around the gardens.
With
up
their
the
lanterns
clock tower
together. They should have a chant or something like. And they met up in that bell tower or wherever they meet, and they chose 3. They kind of whittled it down to 3 again.
Yeah, because they basically said we can't kill anyone on the team of the winning team of that shield because they don't know who's who, basically. So it's too big a risk for trying to murder someone on that team. But little did they know that they actually banished the one person who had the shield, Tom. So that good.
Was good. And
so
it was
who were they then?
Andrea, Faye and Matt.
I think they're really random, especially Matt. Like, why Matt?
I thought that was a random as well. I'm sure Maddie was on the losing team.
Would it
be too obvious to get rid of Maddie? I'm surprised they didn't consider Maddie.
Yeah, because it wouldn't be obvious because she's accused so many people that it could be anyone.
And she's become a bit of a
It could be Meryl. Poor Meryl getting attacked at the table.
I know.
Though she bit back very quickly, didn't she? And was like, well, maybe you're weird. Maybe you're the traitor, Maddie. And that upset her. I'm not the traitor.
But she did. Well, that's funny, actually, you saying that, because she didn't, did she? She didn't say, "I'm not the traitor." She just said, "Well, I'm just pointing out facts. I'm just pointing out facts." Like a GB news presenter. It's my opinion. Yeah, Andrea, Faye and Matt, I always put on our Twitter, Traitors Podcast, a poll at the end of the episode, and I asked, who do you think the traitors will kill? Andrea, Faye, and Matt. And at the time of recording,
yes,
Matt is the favourite to go.
Oh.
I'm not surprised by that. I think Matt's got not much to do now.
He's Alex's only sort of...
He's Alex's lapdog.
Yeah, I don't know if he's an ally anymore, or not if he thinks he's a traitor.
I think if Alex wanted to... And again, this isn't disrespectful to Alex. Good for her. If she wanted to, she could snap her fingers.
Just get him. Yeah,
Matt would be on her side.
100%. I just think it's really weird that they picked those three. They're really odd. But they said that Faye's quite dangerous. I don't think it'll be Andrea. I think there's no point getting rid of her yet because it doesn't really add or take away anything at the moment.
I get
the
why
same with Matt. I'm wondering if maybe it's going to be Faye.
I get why they're saying Andrea. I do get why they're saying Andrea because they're right. There's no way that they're going to banish Andrea. No way. So the only way is that she becomes a traitor or she gets murdered. Murder. But I think Matt makes sense. I get why people are kind of majoritively saying Matt. I have to say, I must say, but
no, I think maybe it will be Faye. Rather than Matt. I think Matt's a bit pointless and a bit weird. Of one to get rid of.
I mean, someone on Twitter who's commented on it has said that they feel that the traitors are getting a bit complacent. Do you think they are? They're getting a bit cocky now. They're thinking, oh, you know what? We're really getting away with this, and they're starting making mistakes. Maybe this is their first big mistake. If they do get one of those three, this could be a downturn.
I mean, the trouble is their game plan is to just be random, so no one can sort of link them in any sort of pattern, isn't it? So I guess that's why Matt or Andrea, maybe they're just two random people. There's no link to or rhythm or way that they would link to those people. I mean, it's obviously it gets harder the more faithfuls they get rid of.
Their most direct murder has been John. Their last one, but
that was their only option. It was either John or Alex, wasn't it? So
true. And then out of the two, John was the obvious one because
John was so annoying. They were like, "I'm just going to risk it."
No, I think to be fair, that the reason they chose John was because they thought that Alex would get eliminated. And then that you know they were half right. They almost got that. Tom got eliminated in the end. But I mean, do you think Alex has got long, or do you think Alex has now basically found a way? A get out of jail free card now.
I don't know. I think because her boyfriend Tom said he was faithful, that kind of maybe they probably think, oh, well, she probably is faithful then, I guess. I think Aaron is also everyone seems to be pointing at him a lot. So I think he may be voted off.
Yeah, but Aaron's kind of taken... Again, Aaron's kind of taken... It's funny, isn't it? It's like the 7 stages of emotion you're seeing through Aaron. So the first one, he was a bit scared. Then he got a bit upset and cried. Yeah, now he's gone a bit hyperactive. And now he's just laughing at everything. Alex says that a lot too, have you noticed? Alex, the way she kind of deals with it is she goes, oh, I'm sorry, guys, I'm just finding this funny. And she just starts laughing. Especially when people directly give a reason for why...
Because their reasons are ridiculous.
But they've got nothing. They've got nothing to play on. What do you say? What do you say? Unless you've got concrete evidence, like you've heard someone's kind of whisper, "Oh, it's great being a traitor, isn't it?" or something like that. I loved it when Claudia was in the confession booth for the challenge. She I forget who she asked now, but she asked one of them, "Have you got anything to confess?" And I half wanted them to say, "Oh yeah, I'm a traitor," just as a kind of like to see how that would maybe rattle them. Yeah, with that.
I think she said that to Theo, didn't she?
Was it Theo? Yeah, you're
he's
right.
He's kind of
Theo.
just sitting in the background. Actually, I don't think we've talked about him once. Theo, he's just kind of there, and he always looks shocked or upset all the time.
He started
at everything.
Well, he started off really strong, like in the first couple of episodes, and then that Imran really attacked him. And after that, he's then kind of taken a step back.
Yeah.
There was that real rivalry between Theo and Imran. And there's an argument to be said that Theo won because Imran was the one who got banished.
But yeah, he's kind of just... No one's accusing him. No one's really pally with him. It's a bit like... It's odd. Like,
I think he's...
Ryan and Meryl are kind of just coasting by without
Ryan's
anything.
not coasting anymore. I'm telling
apart
you,
from that
Ryan,
last 2 minutes, but like
Ryan is going full force.
compared to Aaron, who's being attacked with every breakfast, dinner, and lunch, they're kind of just going with it, aren't they? Really,
Ryan woke up, saw the sun out the window, and thought, you know what? I'm not going to be that quiet
he'll be
mofo
dead.
anymore.
He'll be dead tomorrow then.
No, not our Ryan.
Yeah.
Bless him. But yeah, so again, they left it on the cliffhanger. Who's going to be murdered?
Yes, well, we will find that out in tomorrow's edition. But yeah, I think I think Faye is the most obvious choice to go personally, but.
No, see, I think Matt.
You think Matt?
I think Matt.
I just want another bath montage. Or to see what he comes up with next.
What do you think Matt will do next then? Would he be in the bath?
Pillow fight with himself.
Yeah, it's mirror image. He kisses the mirror.
Slow motion of duck feathers falling from the pillow.
Oh no, we don't need any more montages. No more of that, please. Oh, so it's exciting, isn't it? It's exciting times.
It is very good. So yeah, it was a very busy episode of lots of things going on. So and we've also got the 2 new contestants to see what they're actually going to bring.
I mean, they've not done anything tonight.
No, they can't do anything.
They came back. But... Like I said, poor old Amos. He looked frightened to be back. Bless him. I
wonder if it's going to be. You know, when I'm a Celebrity, when the late contestants come in, and sometimes they find it a bit hard to sort of get into the group. I wonder if that's going to be what's going to happen to them.
Amos definitely 100%, because he's
I'm not sure about Kieran.
The only thing he said, like from the moment when he was doing the pieces to camera, the only thing he kept saying was like, "This wasn't the group of people I left. These aren't the same people. I'm frightened for my life."
Yeah, Kieran's just kind of a bit Danny Diary. He's like thinks he's like this London gangster.
Kieran's stepping back. I think he's playing it correctly. He's stepping back. He's letting everyone around him kind of play out in front of him, and then he's going to dip his toe in the water when he feels the opportunity's right. Well, I think Amos thought he would just go straight into it and be back into the group.
He's just going to have a scone with Andrea.
No, Maddie will start accusing him of something. He'll sneeze slightly peculiarly, and Maddie will be like,
"Very short tie on." I noticed as well.
Who has a short what?
Amos had a very short tie. Like, you know, when you were in school and you had a really short tie just to look a bit.
I was never. He had cool one of them. At school. I never understood why kids at school used to have their tie like that. Like all the cool kids used to do it. I was never that cool. I always had my tie normal length, and I thought I was cool because I was the odd one out. None of that for me. No. Playing the rules by me. Yeah. So,
okay. Well, there you go then. So that's us done for the roundup, and then we'll be back. It's the last one of the week tomorrow, isn't it?
Yes, tomorrow will be the last of the week, and I'm hoping for a really, really big cliffhanger.
Yes. Although it's such a big gap between Thursday and Tuesday. It's very traumatic.
Well, I'm sure
they need a Saturday one, don't they?
Well, they could do one every day of the week. They could literally just pile it on into 2 weeks worth of television.
Well, tomorrow we will know who has been murdered in the night.
Well, I would love for anyone who's listening to the podcast to let us know what they think of the show. At Traitors Podcast on Twitter, faithfultothetraitors@gmail.com.
Oh, you learnt the email today, have you? Well done.
I always throw it to you because I always forget it. I set it up and I've always forgotten it. And as I always say, if you're listening to us on your podcast catcher, do please rate us 5 stars and tell everyone all about us. Tell all your traitory friends. And say, you know what?
We've had quite a good, nice uptick in followers and downloads and stuff, so it's all good.
Thank you to everyone for the really kind messages and saying how they're enjoying listening to the podcast. We're having a ball talking about
Claudia Winkleman was on Graham Norton's sofa and she said she wanted someone to talk to about it. So here we are.
Yeah, well,
it's under Claudia's command.
Yes. Thank you, Claudia, for producing this podcast.
Produced by Claudia's Fringe Productions.
Paid for by Head and Shoulders.
I didn't know you had dandruff. I don't. Head and Shoulders. There you go, that's our advertising for the week. Anyway, that's us done for the episode. We'll be back again tomorrow for the final edition of the week.
Does Andrea have anything left to say?
Andrea? Oh, yes. Let me adjust my buttons.
But I think you actually made a monumental fuck up.
That's to you, by the way.
Bye, everyone.
Goodbye.
Thanks for joining us.